This is Tom Fox. I'd like to welcome you to the newest addition to the Compliance Podcast Network, the Compliance Tip of the Day. This is the podcast where we bring you daily insights and practical advice on navigating the ever-evolving landscape of compliance requirements. Whether you're a seasoned compliance professional or just starting your journey, my aim in this podcast is to provide you with a bite-sized, actionable tip to help you stay on top of your compliance game. Join us as we explore the latest trends from the Department of Justice, share some best practices, demystify complex compliance issues to help keep your organization doing business ethically and in compliance, and at the end of the day, more profitably. Tune in daily for your dose of compliance wisdom. Let's make compliance a little less daunting, one tip at a time. Now a word from the sponsor of the Compliance Podcast Network, Ethico.
In compliance, the value of anonymous reporting is undeniable. But with Ethico, anonymity doesn't mean a loss of connection. Our blinded, two-way communication fosters an environment of trust and confidentiality, encouraging open and honest dialogue. It's not just about receiving reports. It's about understanding the story behind each one, creating a culture of integrity and respect. Transform your approach to anonymous reporting with Ethico. Begin your journey at ethico.com/CPN, where you can book a demo, access an exclusive white paper by Tom Fox titled The ROI of Compliance, and utilize our free ROI calculator.
In this episode, I want to take a look at some of the obstacles to cultural change inside of a corporation. Obviously, changing a culture is a significant challenge for any organization. And two authors in the Harvard Business Review, McLaverty and McKee, took a look at this question. They identified three key obstacles. Number one, the issue of corporate change. Companies can wrap their own ethical climate by pushing too much change from the top too quickly and too frequently. Leaders need to have a cadence of change, and that leaders felt poorly prepared for many of the dilemmas they faced if they moved too quickly. Second is the age-old dilemma of compensation, as it's not simply what measures gets treasured, but what people are paid to do, they tend to do. And incentives drive certain behaviors. People do what they are rewarded to do, and leaders are rewarded for hitting targets. Of course, when you have something like Wells Fargo, which was a total scam and fraud, it's not simply limited to frontline behavior or for other frontline employees. It was a problem at the board level for Wells Fargo. And a final obstacle is an area which may require CCO or compliance practitioner to think through a multi-level chess set, which is cross-cultural differences. Some countries have gift-giving cultures, but this is more than simply the value of a gift or at Christmas or some other important time of the year. The obstacle involves cultures where gift-giving may be a part of an overall business relationship. Here you can think of closing a sales office or sale in Japan, or breaking a verbal promise made during after-work drinks in China, or ignoring sleeping business partners in a Saudi Arabian deal, all of which have both cultural and indeed ethical components. So I found it really interesting to think through what are these three obstacles and how, as you as a compliance professional, may be required to deal with each one of these if you are a part of an overall cultural change in your organization going forward. This month's sponsor of the Compliance Podcast Network, including this podcast, is Ethico. Have you ever wondered about the ROI of your compliance program or had concerns with presenting budget proposals to your CFO? Well, I partnered with Ethico to write a white paper on the ROI of compliance and how you can think through compliance as an investment strategy. Ethico has put together a ROI calculator for you. Check them out on the website. This is Tom Fox again. This new podcast, Compliance Tip of the Day, will appear daily. And frankly, it's one of the most requested topics for a podcast that I get on a regular basis. It's going to be short and sweet with one tip with some takeaways that you can utilize to implement into your compliance program. If you've got a question that you would like a tip on, please submit them through our website, and we will use them in an upcoming episode. The compliance tip of the day is a production of the award-winning Compliance Podcast Network.